Next question says, it's not so much a question, but it says, I don't have knee wraps because I don't compete in Raw Modern. I do Raw Classic. Um, so just to make sure our terminology is straight, you compete wearing knee sleeves. Um, there is a movement in your program that requires squatting with knee wraps. The reason that squatting with knee wraps is in your program isn't because I expect you to compete that way. It's because it's a good overload stimulus. It's a good way to get more weight on the bar, more weight on your shoulders, and for all of your body tissues and systems to get used to handling a bit more weight. Um, if you don't have any knee wraps, they're not terribly hard to come by. It would be worth checking out. If not, there are plenty of substitutions that you can make if you do have bands or chains. If you don't, then we're a lot more limited when it comes to squatting. For bench and deadlift, partials seem to get a lot more favorable response, but partials in the squat tend not to get such a favorable response. So if you don't have access to anything that can provide that super loading type stimulus in the squat, what we're left with is squatting plus a walkout. So you would follow that protocol just doing regular competition style squats, but at the end, you would need to do 3 walkouts using 120% of your 1RM. Now, don't go immediately to 120% if you've never done this before. Maybe start with 100, your second set's 105, your third set's 110. And then the next week, maybe you start at 105 and then go 110, then 115, and so on until you're comfortable with taking 120% out of the rack, walking out, standing with it for 10 seconds. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to bend your knees or do anything. You just stand there holding the weight, stabilizing the weight. Stand there for 10 seconds and then re-rack it. That's kind of your last option if you need something for an overload stimulus.